knows even some of the major issues that are going on in the world. But make sure you share this out. If you have some questions, feel free to ask, and we're going to have some fun. I'm going to kick this on the FM. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Right now it's 9:03 on a Thursday. I'm excited because we have mixed martial artist, professional mixed martial artist, Josh Altum here in studio. We're going to be learning about everything that he has going on, including an event that's taking place on April 18th. It's Fury FC 45. It's going to be streamed worldwide on UFC Fight Pass. Also, you can attend, and I think there's limited tickets available, and the event's going to be at Bayou City Event Center. Josh, good morning. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I appreciate you having me. It's good to be here.
I'm excited to have you here. I feel like I've been itching to get you in here just to learn about everything that you got going on, man.
Yeah. Nah, I know. I've been meaning to get in here. I've just been so, just training and everything for this one. Well, and this fight, I didn't even know if I was going to be able to have a fight, I kind of got this one last minute, but I've been training, so it wasn't too big of a deal,
Yeah. Have you fought at a Fury FC event before?
Not yet as a pro. When I was an amateur, I'd fought for them. Back then they were Garcia Promotions, and once I went pro, I went to New Jersey, New Mexico. I traveled a little bit, but I've been to enemy territory every day. I've been booed every fight, so it's nice to be able to, come down here and get a hometown crowd. Yeah,
you think that's going to be weird if whenever you show up there and there's actually going to be like family and fans and friends in the crowd and they're cheering?
I'm one of them guys. Like when I get in there, it's tunnel vision. Like when I get in there, it could be. Back when I was younger, I used to tell my mom and them. I used to tell them not to come to tournaments. Like jiu-jitsu tournaments. But as you grow with experience, you realize like you need to get over that type of thing if you want to be in an entertainment sport. You know what I mean? And now it's just I feed off of it if anything, and I like the boos too. I really did. I love being booed. So it gives me energy. You know what I mean? So I think having people actually cheer for me is gonna be it's gonna take me that much more, and it's gonna be packed.
Yeah. Whenever you went pro, you said New Mexico, New Jersey. You kind of traveled around.
Yeah,
was
Dallas.
That on purpose?
Yeah. So anybody who has watched me as an amateur kind of knows that the back end of my amateur career, I had two wild decisions happen. And I'm not holding grudges about it or anything anymore. But back then I did, I felt pretty, I felt a way about it, so I just wanted to leave Texas, I just wanted to get out of here and spread my wings, and I did, and I went and fought really tough competition outside of here too, so it ended up being definitely worth it for me. And you got to remember too, as a fighter, you're going to be traveling across country, you're going to be traveling to other countries, so it was really good experience for me to fly. I've never flown. My first time flying was going to fight, cutting weight, while on a plane, so it was different, but it was good.
You just dove in head first.
Yeah, I literally dove straight in. Yeah.
If you're watching on social media, I want to say good morning. I see Diego Reyes is tuned in, and I saw a piece that he did that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it features you. So good morning, Diego. Thank you for hanging out this morning. So he reached out to you and said, "Hey, I want to run a piece." How did he do that?
Yeah. He reached out to me, and me and Diego are we go back, some years. Me and him have done some things before, and he's always been a big supporter of me and of the MMA community. He helps with Fury, and I know he helps plenty of people. He's one of them guys. He's just a really genuine guy, and and he contacted me about it, and of course I'm down, to work with him, anytime, so and we did that little piece, and it came out. I knew it was going to be good, but it came out. It came out crazy with the fight footage and just the way that he did it. So it was really good.
Yeah, the first time I met Diego, I met you on the same day. It was at a Fury fighting event with Jose Solis on the card.
Mm-hmm.
We met at Texas Striking right there. Yeah, right there in Lamarck, and we went up to Humble, and we got some footage of that event as well. And so that's the first time I met you. And the one thing that I remember, so we were there, and I was like, man, this is cool. So I was just kind of like laid back, just kind of taking it all in. And I remember seeing you in the mirror, just like shadow boxing. And I was like, this guy
Was I fighting that night or
no?
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude. If you see me outside, I am literally I shadow box at the grocery store. Like, I'm one of them people. I'm constantly like, I'll be bumping my shoulders or something. Yeah, I'm not even surprised.
So when did you start? What got you into this? Where are you from?
So I'm from Texas City, born and raised. Been running around there since I was a kid. I used to live kind of by College of the Mainland, and then I moved into Texas City, and I'd been running around there, since I was like 8, and really fighting started for me, kind of street fights and stuff like that. That's where it started for me, and me and my friends were actually boxing one day, and my cousin who he's passed away. He's who I have tatted right here on my shoulder. He showed up, and nobody would box him. He was an actual boxer, and
y'all didn't have any training. Y'all were just boxing.
Yeah, we were kids. Yeah, we were kids.
Except your cousin did. He was the one.
Yeah, he just pulled up out of nowhere, and it was me and all my friends, and we were boxing, and he jumped out, and a guy was with him. He's like, y'all want to box a real boxer? And everybody in there just was quiet, you know? And me, of course, I was like, and I had no training at this time,
How old were you?
I was probably 11 or 12, probably. Yeah, I was young.
Yeah.
And he was like 15, 16, but I was like, man, I'll do it, and I jumped in there and threw a wild hook, and he didn't knock me out cold, but he pretty much knocked me out. Like, I hit a knee, I remember just looking at the ground, I was like, oh, and literally the next day or 2 days later, he took me to the boxing gym, and I was in the boxing gym for about 3 months. That closed down, and then I found an MMA gym like 7 months later, kind of related to guys from Premier. That's kind of where some of them started at, and I've it's just been at it since then.
When did you realize this is what you wanted to dedicate your life to?
I remember my first UFC fight I watched. I watched Forrest Griffin and Rashad Evans, and I remember I'd watched that fight, and then I knew I wanted to do that, and then I started training. I had some jiu-jitsu tournaments and stuff, but I remember a big turning point for me was I went to a UFC like training session with Forrest Griffin a few years later, and the compliments that he gave me and stuff on the little bit of training I had kind of gave me a real like just a big like motivator, I guess you would say, and I was competing in jiu-jitsu, and trust me, I wasn't just a natural. I lost plenty in jiu-jitsu, you know what I mean? Everybody does most of the time, especially having no prior training, but definitely when I was about 14, and then I had my first underground fight at 15.
When you say underground fight, what does that mean?
Like, so basically the guy I fought was like 18 or 19 at the time. He's actually a pro now too. He's fighting on the same night as me. Yeah, it's funny. We're cool. But so I was like 15. It was New Year's Eve, and I fought at this. Like I said, it wasn't supposed to happen. Underground means it's just not sanctioned. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, there was no state. There was, it technically wasn't legal. You know what I mean? But we had a whole crowd in there in that little building.
It's just friends hanging out.
Yeah. That's all it was. All it was, just having fun. But it was good. Nobody got seriously hurt.
Seriously.
Yeah. And it was good. And that's when I fully knew, like, okay, this is what I want to do, because I went out there and like I did stuff that even I didn't even know that I would do, in that type of in a fight, like, actual fight, not just running out there and going crazy, being technical and trying to pull off submissions and punches and kicks and stuff. And I went out there and did it, and after that I was like, oh yeah, I gotta keep at this.
Yeah. So 12 years old, get into a fight on the street, have fun, end up in a boxing gym. 14, you have your first underground fight. When did you have your first, I guess,